Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorelai's story, or Elle's story. The jury's still out on which one we're going to settle on. Before we get in too far into that, though, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. You're in the town of Greywick, and there's nobody here. It is a ghost town.
It is. So I think our plan is to go check out a house.
Okay.
Walking back from this crevice that Reeve and Sebastian showed us. So, I think the smartest thing to do is pick the first house from this crevice
The
that we
closest
can
one,
see.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's no roll needed for that. You just walk up to the nearest house, which is on the outskirts of the village, the north side of it. It looks like a fairly humble 2-story home. There are lots of small tools outside. It looks like it's maybe not a farmer's home, but like a farmhand's home. You get the impression that people who worked with their hands lived here and left to go work fields or agriculture in some way, and then came back, and this is where they reared their family. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Hoping to get Jackson on
You can ask him to help
doing
you.
this. Yeah, definitely help. I mean, I rolled a 15, but
Yeah, he'll assist you. And he will roll. Let's see. My D20 will hit my F5 key and refresh everything. That's great.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. Jax rolls a 28. He rolled a natural 19 plus 9.
That's a little better than 15.
Yeah.
We'll see if it holds. So
Yeah, we'll see if anything comes of that. So this is the layout of the home. You and Jax and Kurta approach it. And before going inside, you see Jax is immediately like pacing around the windows of the place and looking around, kind of inspecting the sills and frames around the windows. And immediately he points to the window closest to the front door, and inside the window, he points out to you and Kurta. There's a dining room right inside this window. There's a table right in here, and this was a point of entry. This window's been forced open.
right. Good eye.
One of them, and he taps the mechanical eye that replaces the organic one on the left side of his face.
I was being genuine.
Sure you were. And he continues around the side of the house.
Lorelai's just going straight for the door.
Yeah, okay. When you approach the door, you notice that the door is cracked. It's not fully locked or closed at all. It looks as though it was pulled open in a hurry, and it doesn't look like it was ever pulled back shut. And you see there's lots of leaves and small like needles from nearby trees that have blown into the small foyer of this home.
Okay.
When you go inside, roll me a perception check.
Okay. Not bad. 21.
21. There is a strange smell that is in the air inside the home. It is... The only way to really describe it is a hint of ammonia to it. Like rotting apples. It's
Okay.
not strong, but with that roll, you smell it. And that is not a smell you've smelled in a while. Or at least, it's a weird one to smell here. I'm going to move you into the structure. As you look in the foyer, you see immediately there's like a wall right in front of you, and there's all sorts of these little, like, paintings is a strong word. They look like mosaic stitches of twine and fabric that have been made up to look at like images. And they're very simple, and they cover that whole wall. And you see it's a crude but effective image of what looks like a small family. Immediately to your right, you see that there is a small stand with what looks like it would have been a coat and hat stand, but there's nothing on it. There's all sorts of There's all sorts of small trinkets and debris that have been kind of strewn about on the floor. It looks like there was a struggle in here. With a 21, you note that you don't see any blood, but it looks like there was a physical altercation that took place. And as Jax pointed out, you look over the dining room, which is immediately to your left. The table had food on it. The food and plates are all clattered across the floor. You see the stale, ruined remains of, like, pastry. Like a meat pie that has been pushed onto the floor and is, like, pressed into the wood from people stepping on it. That's what your initial look around tells you.
Okay. Gotcha. So struggle. She'll call out. Struggle in the entryway, but no blood. And she'll step into the center of the room.
Okay. And Jax is continuing his search around the outside.
She gives him a wave out the window.
As
Or
he's
is
like,
that a window there?
yeah, that's a window. Yeah, he's like looking at the window, and as you wave, he like glances up and notices you, and awkwardly just like waves the hand back.
Mm-hmm.
Any signs of people still here?
Not yet.
No, ain't out here either. And he does point out. Lots of birds, though.
Dead ones or live ones?
No, they're alive. And he, like, gestures over his shoulder at, like, the nearby trees that are around the house. They don't seem to care about us.
Okay.
With a 21 in perception, you would actually hear, roll me a nature check.
Dang. All right. 21.
You recognize immediately the sound of ravens, which is weird.
Huh. Okay. They're all blackbirds.
Jax, like, turns around and looks. Yeah.
Bigger than normal.
What's normal for a blackbird?
Like, you could cradle them. Like a baby.
I don't think I want to. But, yeah, I suppose they're bigger than like a pigeon. And he like holds his hands up in a vague sizing as he looks at them.
Berta, can you keep an eye on the tree line where the birds are?
Kurta acknowledges that and goes to the side of the building. I'll keep a lookout. What am
Thank
I
you.
looking for?
Anything that looks weird, besides the birds, because that's weird.
Kurta goes and looks. Okay. As Jax continues his investigation, Kurta is paying attention to the surroundings, looking out for anything weird. You continue on in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. First, the seating area to the right.
Yep.
Here.
You see, it's like a den almost. There is a rudimentary piano against one wall. It is dusty. It doesn't look like it's been touched in a while, probably longer than before this ever happened. But the seating area, you see there are a few books that are left out on the, end table, side table. However, it doesn't look like the altercation really got into this area. The sitting area seems pretty peaceful. Nothing looks all that disturbed.
All right. We go on into this kitchen area to take a look.
Okay. Give me another perception check.
Okay.
Hey,
21.
that's pretty good. Yeah. On the wall behind you, which is, it looks like just a structural wall that kind of divides the staircase up to the second floor, away from the rest of the house. The wall behind you has all sorts of little charcoal drawings that looks like it was made by a child. But you notice sticking out of the wall, it's very small. But it's the tail feathers of a bolt stuck in the wall.
Okay. Looks like the trajectory is from this window or from this area.
Yeah, it's from the dining area.
Okay. It's embedded in the wall. She's gonna.
It's a simple matter to just, bend it a little bit
Yeah.
and pull it out.
Yeah, we'll try and pull it out.
Yeah, the arrowhead is, it's a bolt, so it's sharp and black metal. The bolt itself, the wood is very dark in color, and the fletching looks not like it's made of feather. It looks like it's also made of wood. And based on the conversation that you had with Reeve, you suspect this might be a drow bolt.
Okay. I got a bolt.
That's a good find. I haven't found anything else out here yet. It looks like just the front was the point of entry. And as he's walking around the house, you then hear him say, "Never mind. There's something over here."
All right.
And you hear Jax walk around the back of the building.
Is there a cellar here? I see it kind of points.
There's a root cellar.
Yeah.
You can go down into it, but it's very small, and it is chilly, and it seems to be full of potatoes and onions and other vegetables. You could grab some rations if you'd like.
No. So
You don't rob
leave it alone.
the village house?
No.
Okay.
She'll take a peek
growth.
upstairs.
You go upstairs. Okay. Hold on.
Got a job to do.
Yeah. Okay. As you go upstairs, you find yourself on the second story. It is just a bedroom, basically. You do see there is a study far to your left, a large bed that is well kept, though it is not a feather bed. It's It looks lumpy from here.
Gotcha.
You suspect it's probably a cornhusk bed, which is not comfortable, but it's cheap. This is a home of economic means.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, as you're looking around in this room, I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. Well, my luck was about to out.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. As you're looking around, there's a whole lot of things that you could look at in this room, and immediately nothing stands out to you as important. This looks well lived in, and it does look like there is some disturbance. The carpet in the center of the room is like pulled up on the corners, and you see near the banister, the top of the stairs, the wooden pole is like broken where something hit it. Those are the obvious things that stand out to you with a 5.
Okay. Well then, she will step in, and then get down low, prone, to look under the bed if there's space under the bed to look under.
Yeah, you get prone and look. So as you do, roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 13.
13. You get low, kind of on your knees and hands. You look under the bed, and there are lots of shoes under there, various boots, and they all look pretty handmade and not in great condition. You do see there is a crude dagger that has fallen to the wayside underneath the bed. However, this is the moment where you are ambushed. As behind you, you hear, I wasn't under the bed. Wah! And then you hear a funk as appearing behind you, a creature attacks you.
Oh. Okay.
And it has advantage both because you're prone and surprised because you rolled really
Cool.
bad.
Awesome.
Yep. Hold on a minute. Yeah, here we go. That's the thing that's happening. So if you wouldn't mind, though, for the moment, you are going to roll initiative for me.
Why did it roll twice? Okay. Huh.
Okay, you rolled. Why is there 2 of you?
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. All right. This creature leaps out from above this like wardrobe, up top of the stairs, and as it lands on you, it is lashing out with a wicked sharp tail. You don't get a reaction, unfortunately, as it has surprised you.
Yep.
Does a 15 hit you?
No.
Okay. You, as it is like coming down, crashing upon you, did you have your mage armor up?
Yeah, I did it when we got to the
Yeah, okay. So your AC is a 17. What does
at the
it look
beginning
like?
of the day, right?
What does it look like when your mage armor blocks something?
It's basically, yeah, because I have a spell slot down. I would have done mage armor. Yep. Okay. So the way that it looks is basically the cog of a timepiece just comes out spinning and deflects the attack.
Okay. So almost without you realizing it, you hear the sounds of this creature and what it declares that it wasn't under the bed. As it comes flying towards you, you look up towards it, and right as it's this pointed tail is like flying down towards you, it looks like a black scorpion's tail on the end of this little bipedal creature. And the magic that you cast hours ago takes effect. The cog blocks the tail as it goes to stab you, and the creature, mages, seems quite annoyed that your magical defense protected it. You are up. What do you do?
Okay. Well, she stands up, pulls out a dagger. And who might you be, little creature? She says, loud enough for Jax and Curta to hear.
Okay. That's what you say? Who might you be, little creature?
Yeah.
Okay. They need to roll inside checks to tell if there's stress or if they need to move quickly or not. All right. Okay. They didn't roll well.
Oh, okay. Well, it's fine. Because we're gonna follow that up with a mind sliver.
Oh, okay. They
So-
must make an intelligence saving throw. All right.
Uh-huh.
That is a 12.
Fail.
Okay.
Psychic. I did more than 1 damage.
You did. You did 5 damage to this creature. As you pull out the dagger, and this creature looks at you, and it goes, "What kind of mage?"
The worst.
And he recoils back. You hear the sound of footsteps from below. That's what happens. Do you have anything else on your turn?
Nope. Just engaging this little guy.
Okay. The little guy, looks at you with just a very... Oh, hold on. Very bitter and sour look on its face. It's almost like draconic and fiendish at the same time. Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. It's a weird little fiend thing. But he's gonna surge forward and try and sting you again.
Okay.
That's... Boy. A 16 to hit. I don't think that hits.
It just barely misses. Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that miss, he just... And then he vanishes. Roll me a perception check at disadvantage as he's moving.
Okay. Damn. The disadvantage.
All right, a 7. I don't think he... Okay, you aren't quite sure. You think you hear him on the bed, but you're not positive. It's
Okay.
not good enough to make an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then with that... Hold on. Why does it keep making 2?
I don't know.
That's really strange. It's whatever. You hear the sounds of running down below, and you hear What's going on up there?
Tiny invisible creature attacking me.
All right. And you hear Jax. He's going to try and force his way through a window. He succeeds. He basically breaks through the window, and that's going to save him some time. Let me go ahead and... Okay, he bonus action dashes, and then he just gets up the stairs. Kurta doesn't have that luxury. She does not make it upstairs on this turn. But you do hear, "You'll better still be alive when I get up there."
I'm fine.
Okay. It's now your turn. What the hell? Multiple Jaxes.
Uh-huh. It was both of them.
I'm trying to get...
duped.
What the hell is going on, Foundry? Okay, whatever. Elle, you're up.
Okay. Above the bed. All right. She's just gonna take the dagger and just sweep and hope.
Where? Please indicate where you're sweeping it.
Just off to the south here. So like from here to here.
Okay, so you have to pick a square to try and attack.
Oh, yeah, right here.
The south square? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Make an attack. It is going to be at disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to add the Aldrain dagger. It would be the. Is that how you say it?
Aldrain? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's okay. We can... Are you rolling from Foundry right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I can just put one in
Oh,
here.
that's pretty good. Even at disadvantage, a 20. If
With
it's there.
Roll the damage.
Okay, so it's just a +2 to this, right?
A +2 damage, yeah.
Ten. 8 and 2 lightning.
Okay. You hit something, and revealing itself as you do, this creature, like the blade sinks into its hide, and it just, and it vanishes in a cloud of black smoke.
That was it. I guess.
Okay. As that happens, you're still on initiative. So behind you, Jack says, "What the hell was that?"
I don't know. I had little. I mean, you saw it. What is it? Do you know what it is?
Jax can roll an Arcana. No? The fuck should I know what it was? I only saw it for a half second. Looked like
Okay.
a black little lizard thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It tried to sting me.
That's gonna be your turn unless you do something else.
Yeah, that's my turn.
From the other corner of the room, hold on.
I didn't have the Aldrain dagger. I'm gonna reload real quick.
Okay. You hear another creature say, "Hell is apropos." And it raises its hand towards you, and it's gonna throw a firebolt at you.
Oh shit!
That's a 19 to hit. That will certainly hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 8 points of fire damage.
Ow. Okay.
But it has revealed itself now, so... Kurta barrels her way up the stairs. What the hell? That's a raven. Kurta barrels her way up the stairs. And as she gets up, she basically plows through Jax. And she sees this creature. She doesn't know what it is either. But she, like, points at it. She doesn't have enough move speed to get to it, but she does, like, yank a hand axe out of her belt and hurl it at the creature. And as she does, she shouts, "No one hurls fire at my allies!" As the hand axe goes flying towards the imp and hits. Okay, you watch this hand axe strike the fiend, and it gets, like, stuck in the fiend's shoulder, and it just doesn't say anything else. That's all Kurta can do. She's not going to rage yet, and she's out of movement. So, Jax.
Okay.
Jax kind of does the legs up and over the banister, which crumbles a little bit, so he's got to roll in acrobatics. Oh, God. Okay. He, like, puts his hand on the banister to, like, lift himself up over it, and you notice the banister was broken when you first came in. So as he does, the banister, like, breaks down to the ground, and Jax, and, like, just falls flat on his back.
Nice. Smooth move.
He's, like, flat on his back for a moment and looking up, and then glances at you and says, "Thanks. You know, I did run up here to save your ass." And he gets up. And as he does, he no longer has the movement speed to get to the creature, so he draws his short bow. And he's going to make an attack with it. He hits. Okay, that's going to be 7 points of piercing. This fiend looks surprisingly hardy for how small it is. Or at least it looks like the arrow and the hand axe didn't do as much as you would expect it to. Jax will then bonus action dash up. And he gets into the nook. In, like, half cover, but not hiding yet. And it's your turn.
Okay. All right. She's gonna hold a hand out, and she's gonna channel the damage of the dagger in her hand and spin lightning damage at this thing.
Okay, you're throwing a sorcerer's burst.
Make a range. Why is it? It only gives me the option for a damage on it. Why?
So just roll a spell attack. You know, roll a d20 plus your spell bonus, which is in this case going to be a +7.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, with a natural 1, your sorceress burst, you're channeling energy that you're not accustomed to yet. You're not used to it. And as the magic, like, comes winding out of your fingertips, instead of going the direction you intend, it's as though the lightning seems to lance out and find a different path. And it just at the floor near, like, the desk and completely misses.
Okay, I shouldn't have said anything.
Jax doesn't even look at you. He just kind of is looking at this creature, and he just says, "Karma's a bitch."
Yeah, whatever. And she'll move out of the way of Kurta.
Wise. Okay. The Fiend is going to... Let's see you there. Let's see Jax there. Oh, after you threw that Sorcerer's Burst and failed, he holds open his hands and he clasps them together. And as he pulls them apart, he says, "Let me show you how real magic works." And he's going to throw another firebolt at you. That is a 22 to hit.
Ow. Stop.
That's 5 points of fire damage.
Okay. We're breaking into real HP here, all right?
Okay.
Stop it.
When the firebolt finally cuts through and you see it actually does harm to you, its mouth splits wide with very long fangs, and it just does a little dance on the desk. And it's going to... and it vanishes from view. Roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Yep.
As will Jax as well.
Boy.
Jax also rolled a 1.
She is too distracted by the new hole in her freshly mended jacket.
Yep. It's now Kurta's turn. She's going to roll a perception check. Oh, she rolled very well. Kurta, looking towards where the imp ran, kind of rolls her shoulders, sees you and Jax completely lost, and she just pulls the great axe from her back slowly. "Those who might harm my allies should choose their paths more carefully." And she just suddenly swings the great axe in this square and is making an attack at disadvantage. But she seems very confident about her swing. And she hits. Okay. She does 13 points of damage. As she slashes, the Fiend reveals itself with an and poofs. And in that moment, that's the end of the encounter. Or rather, the end of combat, I should say.
Okay. Are there any more?
Kurta, tilts her head back and sniffs deep. "No. Or if there are, they are better at hiding than that one." "Are you all right?"
Yeah, I'm fine. Stupid thing. She takes off her jacket that has a fresh hole in it.
Yeah. Now that there's been a moment, Jax and Kurta will roll Arcana once more. Jax doesn't know what it was, but Kurta rolls her shoulders as she resheathes the great axe on her back. "Imps. Ink-bound imps."
Ink-bound imps.
Aye. They're summoned.
Okay.
Someone pulled them here.
Right. So to watch over a place that they've already raided.
Kurta shrugs.
I found something under here. And she'll get back down to prone and look for that crude dagger.
Yeah, you find it.
Yeah, she'll pull it out, put it on the bed.
It is a single-edged knife. It's about maybe 10 inches long. The knife itself looks like it was crudely forged, like it was hammered out of maybe a horseshoe. It doesn't look like it would keep an edge very well. It would function as a weapon, but not a very good one. You do notice there is a bit of blood on the blade.
Oh. Okay. Well, if it was under the bed, I'm just guessing here, but maybe there's drawings downstairs from a kid. When the attack happened, I'm thinking maybe whoever the grown-ups were in here told that kid to hide under the bed. And he got a little nick in. Or she.
Before hiding, or while they were hiding, they got found, or what do you think the order of operations was here? Do you think they were successful in hiding in during the raid? Maybe that had something to do with these ink-bound imps. Maybe they were looking for them.
Can you see if there's any place to hide in here? I looked around, but I didn't see anything.
Jax nods, and he taps his eye again and begins looking around once more. He begins looking around and seeing like the wardrobe that he was holed up near. He pulls it open, looking in the doors. It's just full of old, torn and patched clothes that are clean and well mended, but old. He goes to the desk and begins looking underneath it and around in the various cupboards in this area of the study. And as he's looking, he says, "There's countless places for someone young to hide, someone small. But it doesn't look like there's anyone in here now. Is there a chance they got away?"
I don't think so.
Jax continues looking.
Yeah, she'll move out of the way, and unless the root cellar, I didn't go down there yet.
We should go check that next.
Okay.
Probably lots of tight quarters.
She's gonna take the dagger and put it into its own separate pouch
Okay.
and stow it.
Yeah, you do that. You stow this crude dagger that you found. And you go to the root cellar?
Yeah. Going down to the root cellar.
In that case, I'm going to move the maps a little bit.
Oh.
And Jax is up in the second story. You and Kurta are going down to the root cellar. There is no separate entity for the root cellar. Just take my word for it. As you go down into the basement of this building, it is not very big. It's definitely not the full size of the structure. There are several barrels in the root cellar and a number of shelves. All of them are lined with bags of flour and potatoes and onions. Many of them appear a little stale. What you imagine is this is likely the ration this family got. Maybe part of their salary or from the grocer in town. Go ahead and roll me an investigation with Kurta's help, as she is assisting you.
Okay. Is she rolling her own investigation?
No, you're going to roll it with advantage.
Okay. So how small is this space?
Oh, maybe 10 feet square.
Okay. All right. She takes a deep breath to calm her nerves in such a small space.
Yeah.
And she rolls a 12.
As you're looking around in this root cellar, you come to the realization that it is not a very big space, and there's just not many places to hide in here. The barrels, you open them and look and sift around in the vegetables and stuff, and no one is hidden amongst the potatoes or the onions. And you look in the pouches, and there's no one in the flour or underneath them. There's not really anywhere else for someone to hide in here that isn't able to be, like, invisible.
Okay, I think this is clear. She says it very quickly and immediately goes up the stairs.
Is it obvious that she's stressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Curta doesn't stop you. She, like, gets out of the way to let you go up the stairs. And eventually she does follow you up. It breaks my heart to think a little one might have been left behind by such a raid. To be lost and alone. Hiding. One would think if they were still here, they would recognize that perhaps they could use the help. She says that loudly. Like, hoping to maybe, if there is a child in earshot, maybe they'll come out.
Or they...
Persuasion.
Uh-huh.
Do you say something?
Or they just can't hear you because they're behind a door.
Curta is not very persuasive. In fact, she has a -1 to it. So she just sounds abrasive and a little scary.
Yeah. If there's anyone here, you can come out. We're with the Marigard Academy.
Roll up persuasion.
Wow. Okay, I need to double check my actual like character sheet here. I might have an inspiration to spend on this.
Did you just take a short rest?
I did not.
Oh, then you should be
It says-
injured by 13 hit points again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't have an inspiration. Well, she's stressed out because thinking about another little kid being in the same situation that she was in when she
Sure.
was a kid
Yeah.
is stressful as fuck.
Coming down the stairs, Jax calls out and he says, I searched the top story quite thoroughly. I don't think there's anyone up there. And I'm assuming you didn't have any luck down here.
No, just a really small cellar and not very many places to hide.
Well, that's a shame. Those ink-bound imps, as you call them,
Uh-huh.
they were lurking. So, maybe... I don't know. I don't know why they were still here.
Wish they didn't go poof.
If we find another one, perhaps we can try and pin it down. Get answers out of it instead of, making it vanish into smoke.
Yeah, let's do one more house then. Just one more.
They nod, and as they, you all go outside, let me go ahead and...
Yeah.
Which house do you go to? Because there are a number in the area. Do you look for like what looks like maybe a merchant's house or another maybe
A higher end house, something with a little bit more security, maybe some traps, some resistance. Um, and while we're trying to find that, we're gonna take. She's gonna take a breather.
Yeah, you
Take
can
a short
take a
rest.
heroic recovery and get some of your resources back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There we go.
As you recover and kind of, maybe patch up the wound from where the firebolt had struck you, Kurta sees what you're doing. That'll get infected if you don't treat it proper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come here.
Okay.
The way she says it doesn't really. Doesn't seem like there's any room for argument.
Yeah. She'll roll up her sleeve up to the wound on her arm.
Yeah. Kurta pulls out what looks like a collection of herbs and bandages. It is a healer's kit. And she's going to mend you. Though you are at full health already, with that medicine check, she will restore you a hit die.
Ooh, okay. Very cool.
As she bandages up the wound, and whatever mixture of herbs and oil she puts on your arm, the pain is gone.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And as she puts it away, like tucking it back onto her belt, she stands up. Back to this grim work.
Yeah, let's go find a rich bitch house.
I'm sure there's a mayor's home somewhere in this village.
Ooh, that would be a good one. That would have probably the most security, right?
Did someone say security?
I mean,
Always looking
yes.
for a good excuse for some practice.
Okay.
Or am I
Let's
not
go
breaking
then.
in? Okay. And checks.
No. In fact, I will help you.
Oh? Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
A woman of talents you might be. Let's see what
Let's
you've
go.
got. And he... Like, the mayor's house stands out amongst all the other homes. It is not wealthy by any means. It is nicer than most of the other homes that you find, in that the first floor is, like, made of brick. But it's not, like, rich.
Yeah, it's not. It's the wealthiest probably here. It's
100%,
like
yeah.
1%
Exactly.
for the location.
Yeah. You kind of get the impression that this town, everyone kind of supported each other in like a barter and trade. So it's the nicest house, but it's not a huge margin. And as Jax goes up to the front door, he's gonna roll an investigation. You're welcome to help him if you'd like.
Yes. I'm not trained in investigation, but if I can help, that would be great.
Yeah, you can help. You give him advantage. What does it look like when Elle assists Jax as he looks for traps on the front door?
It looks like cookie cutter casing of a house to rob. Like it's almost textbook. in how she's learned. Um, with trying to detect any kind of traps or wires or anything that would set off mechanically.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it doesn't look. It looks practiced.
Jax watches as you case the house. And as you do, Jax points to the front door, which has a welcome mat. It's like a straw mat woven together, with little bristles coming out of it to clean boots. And as Jax approaches it, you spot at the edge of the welcome mat a fishing line.
Something's intact.
So it is. Which tells us a couple things. One, that they didn't come through this door.
No.
And that
Another
whoever,
point of entry.
perhaps. And also, when they were taken, they had set their traps. So they were thinking they weren't leaving for the night or the rest of the day. And Jax steps away from the front door, leaving that trap intact for the moment, and then he moves with you as you're casing the joint. Points of entry on a nice brick home. How would you go in this place, I wonder?
Well,
You know there's traps. You knew there's a trap on the front door, so there's likely more elsewhere.
right. First floor windows are usually alarmed or trapped,
At the least.
at the least. Unless it's a room of not much importance, like a bathroom or washroom. Most of the time, it's second story work.
Do you think they got in on the second story and then got back out the second story? Because we know they took
Well-
them out.
Yes. So the way that most of my experiences were getting someone inside first, and then they opened the door for us.
Ah.
Because it's easier to disarm from the inside than the outside.
Usually there's, maybe a switch or a pull string sort of thing that you can disarm it
Something-
without setting it off.
It's more visible on the inside.
Sure. I think
Yes.
we need to look for the sort of thing this sort of house would have that none of the others might. And with that,
What's
he
that?
turns and he looks around at the yard of the mayor's house and he says, "A cellar,
True.
a full-on basement. A place like this, they'd have to entertain, and that means they might have wine and chilled storage for it."
So it would probably be on the western side of the house.
Good thinking. And as he
So it's
points that direction, you do see there is these two wooden doors that are open.
there we go.
There's like a hatch nestled into the ground, and it's maybe like down the hill slightly from the mayor's house. It's in a slight defilade from it, but it definitely is like pointed towards the mayor's house. And as the doors are wide open, Jax gives you a nudge and says, "Good thinking." Curta, if you
Gerda,
don't
Sella.
mind. Huh?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, look out for more fucking imps.
Yeah. That would help. Okay. Go into the cellar.
All right. As you descend the steps, it is chilly, and it is not exactly stock full, but there are several racks with various wines on the shelves. There is also a large, like, wide shelf lined with cheeses. And you immediately recognize some of these cheeses as imports from Tarracona. They're probably the most expensive things you've found in this village so far, just because they're imported. When you're looking at them, they're not particularly fancy. They're just foreign. But they all have this, like, the hard wax exterior that protects them from the environment. And most of them are untouched, which really tells you that whoever it was that broke into this cellar was not here to rob of their food and wine.
Well, if there's Tarracona cheese, that is something she'll steal right away.
Yeah, there's there's 2 full wheels and a number of, like, smaller wedges along the shelves. If you want to load your pack, you can steal up to 40 pounds of cheese.
No, she'll take a wedge and then break into another wedge immediately and just kind of have a snack as
Okay.
they walk through.
So you have 4 pounds of Tarraconan cheese in your pack, and it's almost like Parmesan, Parmigiana, the big block cheese.
Yeah.
It's very crumbly and it tastes good. It's a familiar flavor to you. The almost like nutty flavor of it. On the far side of the cellar, you see there are stone steps that lead up to the house proper, and the door is open.
We're just going straight through. Nothing was touched here, so I'm going to assume they didn't care about any of this, but this is really good. And she'll offer, like, the wedge that she's eating from.
Oh, I'll try some. It's not doing them any good. Gonna spoil down here.
Nope.
Curta, like, seems to, like, look at the cheese with a quizzical eyebrow. What is it?
It's cheese.
Why is it like that?
Well, it keeps better like this. Just try it. It's good. Here.
She takes a piece of it. It is good. Curta just chews thoughtfully as she's following you guys up the stairs. She doesn't say anything else.
It's really good when you shred it on top of, like, pasta.
I have not had much pasta.
Oh, we gotta fix that.
Curta, like, raises an eyebrow and then she just says, I don't often see the point.
What do you mean?
She just looks at you and then says, boiling things is slow.
Oh. Well, it's worth it. That's for sure. Get some noodles and meatballs and shredded cheese on top.
She just, like, shrugs and she says, perhaps when we're back in city, you can show me what you mean. But amongst the tribes, food had to be quick.
Quick and easy. I'm catching on to the type of lifestyle you used to lead.
There are times I miss it. But it
Yeah,
was
I bet.
never easy.
Not even a little bit?
She considers that for a moment. Finally, she says, plains bread was easy. Nothing else.
Okay.
Sounded like
And-
progress to me.
And we're stepping up the stairs.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me perception.
All right, 16.
This house is a fucking wreck.
Mm-hmm.
There is blood slashed across many of the walls inside this house. There is a dead body in this house. It is a human male. He has been dead for days. He's wearing chainmail. Very cheap, economical armor. He has a spear that is draped across him. And you see that his neck is cut. His body is slashed in several places. And he died where he fell. He's dead next to the door to the cellar. In the streaks of blood, you see drag marks leading towards the cellar. The mayor's house itself has a large, like a great room that is both a sitting area and a dining area. The table's broken. The sitting area is thrashed. Furniture is tossed to the side. There's a bookshelf that is like broken in the middle, and all the books have tumbled out onto the floor. There's a kitchen that smells of rot and burnt food. It seems like when this attack happened, something was being cooked, and it was just left to overcook until the fires died out. So there's like charcoal things and pan on top of the stove. From your perception of a 16, the attack on the mayor's house was sudden, it was brutal, and it was lethal.
Okay. I think the body is going to tell us the most about who attacked. And first is going to be the tip of that spear. Are there any threads or blood on it, on the tip of the spear?
Roll investigation with advantage as Jax is helping you.
All right, 19.
You do find some fine spider silk thread, same as the fabric that Reeve gave you. No blood, though.
Okay. More thread. And she'll unwind it from the tip of the spear and hand it to Kurta with the rest of the evidence.
This is another connection. And then you see Kurta lean over the fallen human. And she, from a pouch on her belt, pulls what looks like fine white sand. And she just sifts some of it onto his chest as she seems to whisper a small prayer over him.
The slashes. What kind of blade do you think? And she's looking at Kurta.
For the next few moments, Kurta doesn't respond. Until
she'll wait.
Okay. If you wait until she finishes, then she will then actually perform a medicine check. With what looks like almost like an apothecarian's precision, she unabashedly pushes her fingertips into the wounds to like get a feel for the edges of them.
For the depth? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you hear Jax go, "Oh, fuck. Come on. Ugh." Curta just glances up at him. Child. Scimitar, or maybe perhaps slender, wide axe? My first guess is scimitar. A narrow, thin slashing weapon. Fast enough to cleave around the edges of the chainmail. You can see where some of the rings did turn the blade. But it wasn't enough.
Okay.
She then picks up several of the broken rings of the mail off the ground and holds them up in one open hand. Magic scimitar.
Clean cut.
Aye. Plain blades don't cleave through iron like this. So, more evidence. These assumed drow came prepared and dangerous with magical weapons. And she puts the cut rings into her evidence pouch.
Okay. I guess we try to find other bodies. Or other... Do you think we have enough?
Curta opens up her evidence pouch and looks inside it. What does she have in there?
I believe she has an arrow from the cart.
Mm-hmm.
A pouch of long pepper. I have the bolt and the dagger from the other house.
Mm-hmm. The patch of
What else does she
fabric.
have? The patch of fabric. Both from the tip of the spear and from
Reeve.
From Reeve.
And the magically cut chainmail that she just put in there.
Yep.
I think we probably have enough to warrant the Maryguard's further investigation.
I want to be out of here by nightfall. Well away from this place. Just in case. I mean, we've already been spotted.
At this point, the investigations have taken some time. So it's like 2 in the afternoon. And as you say that, Curtis says, then we better leave soon.
Yeah. Out the same way?
It's the only way back. Unless you want to forage straight through the woods in a different angle.
No. Let's go out. Let's go out the way we came.
I'm not gonna lie, there's something eerie about this place. I'll be happy to see it behind me.
Alright. We have that piece of paper. And she takes it out. Once we're outside, I'll write something and send it. And while we're moving.
Can we get out of the house? I'm starting to notice the smell of that fellow.
Yeah. And she starts leading the way out.
As you're leading the way from behind, Curtis says, if that smell bothers you so much, you might be in the wrong line of work. That will not be your first. I know. I'm just saying. I don't need to sit there and bask in it. Curta doesn't comment as you lead the way through the cellar and out, and you find yourself back out in the Greywick's open air. What do you write?
Let's see. I'm gonna write it out here. Hirsch. Found a lot of evidence pointing to an attack on Greywick. Including a dead body. Initial assessment is alluding to a drow attack. Found spider silk threads. And a local hermit who gave information of figures moving only at night. Also found a crevice on the outskirts of town. And ink-bound imps watching over the town. Lots of ravens along the tree line. Don't know if that's related. Coming back to Ferrum now. And she'll sign it. Lorelei.
Okay. It doesn't take long once you've signed it. The transcription paper vanishes in a cloud of little ash and smoke. And as it happens, Jax watches it and he just kind of scratches his, his beard and he says, "Magic is weird. Has anybody ever thought about that? Why does it have to burn?"
You're telling me.
It literally, like, as he's musing about it, a transcription paper seems to, like, formulate in your hands. And it says, "That does all sound like signs of drow. Travel safely and with caution. I will pass on your findings to Maxwell. He will be leading this investigation and are likely to brief you all when you return. Ensure the evidence is touched as little as possible. Hirsch."
Okay. We have every evidence in like a bag or pouch.
Curta nods as she holds up the leather sack. She's got it all separate in.
Yeah. Lorelei will stick the bolt in with the dagger as well.
Okay. The evidence pouch now contains everything that you found.
Okay.
All right, let's get moving. I don't particularly relish the idea of traveling with drow about at night.
Yeah, me neither. I think we go as fast as we can and try to get as far as we can right now before nightfall.
Curta nods, and she begins leading the way into the forest, away from Greywick.
Okay.
As this happens, and you guys begin making your way away from Greywick and into the Rimwood, heading west towards Ferrum. Before anything else, I need you to roll me a D100.
That spun around a lot. 65.
Okay, hold on. I'm rolling survival for Curta, who's leading the way. Okay. The march continues, only this time there is the tension of... It's almost like this constant awareness that you might be being followed. And it is a guaranteed way to make all three of you feel a little anxious. But as you are patrolling through the woods and moving as quickly as you can, while still maintaining the right direction and following a course that is not going to bring you straight through trees and dense growth, Curta's an adept survivalist, it seems. It seems as though her skills are very much meant for living out in the woods and doing what she can with whatever she has, very resourcefully. You and Jax, maybe not so much, but the anxiety of potentially being followed and seen as you're leaving has Jax being much more quiet than he otherwise was on your way in. But as you're walking, over your shoulder, Jax quietly says, "Why do you think drow raided the place?"
Don't know. I just didn't want to stick around long enough to figure that out fully. I mean, we had already been spotted. I think our job was to find evidence of what happened, and I think we know pretty well what happened. We just don't know why.
I hadn't really thought about that sort of thing. You know, I grew up in Rouge, really. And you don't really think about drow or raiders or, you know, that sort of thing when you're in the big city.
Well, that's because a big city is a harder target to raid.
Sure, I meant, you know, I'll deal with my own troubles. It's just, that's the sort of thing that you don't even think about until you see it firsthand. And ahead of you, Curtis says, "Speak for yourself." Okay, I didn't think about it until I'd seen it firsthand.
Different lives. There's a big difference between small towns and big cities. I mean, look at the both of us and look at Kurta.
It's kind of a prime example, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. I would be absolutely fucking lost out here if it weren't for you, Kurta. And Kurta just, like, very bull-like snorts. And she just says, I know.
But I bet you if we ever took Kurta to a big city like Taka or what's the big city out here?
Augur City?
Augur City. I bet Kurta wouldn't know where to start or where to go.
Looking over her shoulder, Kurta says, I am able to lean on allies for help when I need to.
Have you ever been to Augur City? Or a big city like Augur City?
Kurta seems reluctant to answer right away. But eventually she does say, Cracom.
What's that?
She kind of... She doesn't, like, laugh at you, but she does, like a small snort, as if the fact that you don't know what Cracom is ridiculous to her. But she doesn't press it, and instead she says, Grand River Delta City, north of where I grew up. Every few years, we traveled there and traded, met lots of people, drank lots of mead, celebrated our return. I was young. You like fish?
Of course.
Who doesn't like good fish? Kurta nods, and you can see, like, she seems more impassioned that it's like common ground that all of you like fish. And she just goes on to say, best fish I've ever had in the river deltas of Cracom.
Oh, I don't know about that one. You're gonna have to prove me wrong on that one.
For me.
Or prove yourself right.
Yeah. For me as a child, it changed my life. Made me want to learn how to cook, how to harvest, how to catch, how to live off the land. Before that, I was a weaver. You?
Baskets?
Right. You were... Like, Jack seems completely caught off guard, and he's like, no offense, Kurta, you're massive. I can't quite picture you making baskets for a living. Kurta just shrugs as she keeps walking, and she says, I'm normal sized for a minotaur, and baskets are a noble creation. Not just baskets as well. Armor, tents, sails. All right, sure. Yeah, I didn't mean to talk down on it. It caught me by surprise, is all. Kurta seems to accept that. As she's walking. It was food that changed my mind about that when I was a little girl. Made me what's the word I'm looking for? Pergerasaduradan.
What is that?
Do either of you speak giant?
No, not a lick.
Okay. When you say, what is that? Curtis says, rough, common, as pick the destiny for which I would force the rest of my life to atone for.
Okay. That's a little final, but I dig it.
'Twas my ambition. You have an ambition,
I will.
don't you?
Right now? Yeah, I have one.
What is it?
It's nothing as long lasting, but I just want to figure out how to control all this stuff that's happening to me. That's the ambition right now. Is to get a grip.
We cannot control our winds. We can only accept them and move with them.
Yeah, but I kind of want to be a sail right now. You know what I mean?
That does not make sense. You don't wish to go along with it, but you wish to be a sail to go along with it.
I wish to capture it, to control it,
Curtis shakes
to
her head.
manipulate it.
You will hurt yourself trying.
I've already been hurt enough.
There is
What's a little
never
more
enough
hurt?
hurt in this world.
I beg to differ.
Curta looks at you with a slightly sad look on her face, but she just continues leading the way.
You know. Yeah?
Oh, nothing. I would nothing at all. Jax just like
No, you
has
were
his
gonna
hands
say-
in his pockets.
Yeah, you were going to say something.
I was going to say it's delightful weather we have out here right now. Because this got a little awkward, that's all. I don't handle awkward quiet very well. Quiet is fine, but when there's that awkward bit. Makes me grind my teeth.
It's fair enough. Do you want to patch my jacket again?
Not while I'm walking. I don't mind giving it another go when we've stopped.
All right,
Unless
fair
you
enough.
want it to be really uneven.
No. No, I don't.
Jacket means a lot to
But-
you, then.
A little bit, yeah.
You don't have to tell me about it. It's good to have things to hold on to.
Yeah. It is. Well, if you're not going to repair my jacket now, then I will take a consolation prize. How was life in Port Rouge?
Jax, he kind of gets this small smirk. I mean, that's a pretty dodgy way of changing a subject. I think they call that a segue. You're gonna need a roll of persuasion to try and get something out of him. From that.
Okay. Golly, my persuasions are not
The 15's pretty good.
high
Like,
enough.
you rolled an 8, but
Yeah.
you gotta realize, like, 15 is still the DC for a hard challenge.
Yeah.
Jax kind of rolls his head as they're walking, and he says, "Oh, you know. I often lived on, the shaky side of things. Hang out with the wrong crowd. The sort of crowd you lose your eye to. They made up for it, though. So I suppose that's that. And this trinket
Made up for it. How?
He looks at you, like square on. One clearly arcane prosthetic eye and one normal eye. How do you think, Elle? How do you think they made it up to me?
Through friendship and kindness.
Right. You sound like them. No, they put this in my head.
So it actually does something.
Oh, sure. There's a couple tricks to it.
Okay. You know, I think I noticed you use it a few times back there in town.
Yep, I'm sure you did. And there's a couple knocks to it. I can use it to sometimes see magical effects, or rather, just kind of understand them a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit. Mostly what it's good for, though, is if I need to get a real close look at something, it can magnify my vision quite well.
Sounds a bit. I mean, it sounds useful, but it does sound. It could be disorienting.
Oh, it was. I threw up many times the first time I tried it. For the first maybe few months I had it, but you get used to it. Now it's second nature. Real good for getting a good look into locks or around traps, as you can imagine.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they want to.
So not all bad.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I'm sure they want to eventually cut it back out of my head at some point. But, it's part of why I'm here.
So it's on loan.
I'm sure they don't see it that way.
Well. All right then.
Ahead of you, Curtis says, "Sounds like you were a smuggler." You see Jax, like, grit his teeth a little bit. Maybe that's such a harsh word.
Smuggler. Smuggler is the crude form of a. How do I say this? A master of finding places for things to go.
That is a good way to put it. And I'll forever think of it that way for the rest of my life.
It's a long title, but we're working on it.
You can stop it at master. That's good enough. Curta just, shut up. A man can be proud of what his talents are, and they should have a title befitting. A master of
If
evil.
it makes you feel better, we can call you Huntress. Curta.
You can call me Curta.
Okay.
We kind of saw that one coming.
Huntress Curta.
You just hear Kurta like groan up in front, but she doesn't say anything else. As you're walking, Kurta's leading the way accurately, and you're making good time. You seem to cover a good amount of ground in the maybe 4 hours before it's finally starting to get dark. And Kurta says, "All right, we need to find a place to rest."
Something out of the way. Something that can't be easily seen.
Kurta nods. Let's see what we can do.
All right.
You can roll survival, Jax can roll survival, and Kurta can roll survival. Everyone looking for a spot, basically.
Oh, useless here.
Yep. Okay. Jax is out of his element as well. He just kind of looks around and he says, "Looks like a lot of trees." Kurta, as she is like pushing her way through brush over her shoulder, just says, "You're very sharp." I think she just told a joke.
I think she did too.
No, I know.
That's pretty funny.
I didn't think she knew how to do that. And Kurta like basically finds a small clearing and she says, "This will have to do."
Okay.
And as she sets up a campsite, or rather sets up a place for a campsite, that is where we will call it for tonight's session.
Okay.
Good spot, though. You got lots of evidence. You made your way out of Greywick, and you now have the rest of your adventure to go. So let's go ahead and pull up the splash. Thank you for playing with me tonight. I hope you had a good time. To those of you who are at home or at work watching, hi Pen, hi class, hi Sleepy, hi Emily, how are you? We love you all, and I wish you a good night.